Hi, welcome to the latest in the series of short videos on Irish records. This is the first one in a short sub-series about the websites of national repositories. These are not obvious places to go researching our ancestors, but lots of them have wonderful nooks and crannies and bits of records that can turn out to be very useful. So today I'm going to start off with the National Archives of Ireland. So let me go to my website and jump off from there as ever. Right, here we are at the website, and the place to start is here with addresses, major libraries, and we come down to the National Archives of Ireland. And they are www.nationalarchives.ie, and off to it. Now, on first sight, this is not, I need to specify exactly what this is not. This is not the genealogy.nationalarchives.ie. This is not the 1901 census, the valuation office records, the tithe books, all the genealogy stuff. This is totally separate. I'm not going to talk about the genealogy website today. I've talked about it enough before, and really, if you're interested in Irish genealogy, that you're probably familiar with it already yourself. This is something slightly different. Okay, first of all, I'm going to just show you the online catalogue. The online catalogue is, as it says, the vast majority of entries relate to departmental records, modern court records, and testamentary material. In other words, these are records that have been taken in since 1922, since the destruction of the Public Record Office. Most of them concern the National Archives' current main function, which is to serve as the archive of the government. So that a large part of the work of the archives is taking these annual intakes of giant boxes of records from all over the government, cataloguing them and trying to make them available to the public. What gets into the online catalogue is a bit hit and miss. Let me show you something. Let me put my surname in and see what happens. Show you what happens. Grenham. Okay, that's about as simple as it gets. Grenham, Martin, farmer. Commandeered motor vehicles. Claim of Mr. John Grenham at Clone. This is, it turns out, a claim by my grandfather for a car that was commandeered by the Free State forces in the course of the Civil War in Ireland. And the finance files, here he comes again and again and again. He didn't let go of this. I don't think he actually got paid for it in the end, but this is something I have no idea he was involved in. And it's something that has turned up in just a simple, fine, you say, you're lucky you have a surname like Grenham. And yes, I am. But you can just, if you can find something a little bit unusual, you can leverage it to get at something. I mean, for example, there's this Mary Jane Grenham. These are the intestacy papers of my grandmother, the wife of the man who was looking for the compensation for his car. And what it is a digitized version of the will calendars. These are on the genealogy website, but they are Mary Jane Grenham, late of Connaught Street, Athlone, married woman who died the 17th of November 1925. So it's useful for testamentary records post 1922. Particularly the calendared records. Okay, it doesn't come all the way up to the end of the calendared records, which is the 1980s, but it covers everything after those as well. So you get, let me show you another example of a search. Let's see, James Adair, James Adair. Now you see 1985, 1990, Soldier's Will from 1914, Male Prisoner 1894. You get bits and pieces. It is mix and gather. Okay, so it's not entirely, it's not designed as a research tool. It's designed as a way of getting reference numbers for original records that you can then research in the National Archives. That's the catalog. It's as I say, it's a curate's egg. It's worth fishing for something. You never know what'll turn up. Okay, the genealogy section, that is really to do with the website, the genealogy sub-website. There's one thing I want to look at here in the historical records section. So the, okay, record sources and guides, sources and guides, research sources and guides. Just looking at these, there are things, the boundary between history and genealogy, as I'm sure you know, is pretty porous. So sources for researching the Great Famine, hospital records in the National Archives of Ireland, well worth having a look at. Brian is an extraordinary expert. The history of medicine in Ireland, rebellion papers, those are the rebellion of 1798, transportation of convicts to, you can see this, there is a strong interest. And the one I want to talk about here is the registered papers of the Chief Secretary's Office by Tom Quinlan. There's again, an excellent, these are all nearly all, at least, National Archives of Ireland staff, and good on them. This is what I want to talk about. The Chief Secretary's Office registered paper. This is another sub-site, distinct from the genealogy one, distinct from the main one. And you can see it's CSORP. That stands for Chief Secretary's Office Registered Papers, CSORP. The Chief Secretary's Office was basically the central administrative hub of Ireland after the Act of Union, so after 1800. And really from 1818 on, there was a system of filing all the papers, all the registered papers, mainly consisted of correspondence coming into the Chief Secretary's Office, petitions, letters of recommendation, requests for assizes, requests for clemency, all sorts of wonderful things. And the catalogue, a lot has been digitized and is available on this subsite. If you're interested in the years 1818 to 1833, this can be an extraordinary resource. Again, you will end up, let's just see, Murphy. Okay. Request from Thomas Byrne seeking reward for apprehension of local criminals. Petition of, you can see John Murphy, keepers of the county jail, Jeremiah and John Murphy, County Cork. You can see the kind of thing that's there. It is calendared down to a very fine level of detail. So you're absolutely, there's no lack of clarity about what's in each of the records. Again, this is, maybe you might describe it as a bottom of the barrel. I would describe it as a brick wall breaker. There you are. That's a nicer euphemism. It's here. It's not nearly well enough known about. It's not nearly well enough used. But there will come a point in most people's Irish genealogy research where something like this is basically all that's going to help them. And it's, again, a lot of luck involved, but luck is an essential ingredient in Irish research anyway. And I wish you the best of it for your research. Okay, I'll leave it at that and let you wander around the site for yourself. Thanks for listening. Good hunting.